Hey guys, it's Kai. In this video, I want to go over some fundamentals for tank, because I know tank is a role that a lot of people struggle with. But tank is both very similar to how you play DPS and support, but also a little different. So the way it's similar is that you still want to have uptime, and you still want to, use cover, off angle sometimes. You want to use those fundamentals to play good. But where tank differs is in patience, corner usage, especially that cooldown usage. Cooldown usage is really important on tank. And the reason why this is because tanks are going to be the larger focus of the enemy's attention. If you're playing Roadhog, people are going to be looking at you more, shooting you more, using cooldowns on you more than they're going to use on a Sojourn. Just because you have more health, you're a bigger target, and you're just more of a threat. And this is where you have to play a bit different than DPS and support, where you can kind of have constant uptime as much as possible if you allow yourself. But tank, you have to play more patient. You have to wait to use your big cooldowns until there's an advantage. In this video, I'm gonna go over how I won this game on Queen. I ended this game like 42-2, and from this point here to the end of the game, I played Queen. I didn't die a single time. So that goes to show that I use my cooldowns well. And I use fundamentals as well, and that's what I'm going to show you in this video. So I'm going to be going over corners, patience, and just general cooldown usage on Queen. Let me know if you want another tank video. Let's get started. So I can vault a hard map for Queen, but it's not impossible, obviously. So before we even get started, a corner. Just very quickly, let me explain. A corner is literally just this. A corner is something that is going to sever the line of sight between you and the enemy. So you notice how here, the Sig and the Orisa can't actually see me. Now Sig can shoot around the corner and still get me. But the whole point of a corner is to use something to block LOS. And corners are very important in tank gameplay, and I will go over that. So I'm just waiting. I move forward. Okay, so here. Cooldown usage on Queen. You don't want to use your shout until you've got an advantage or you're forced to back up. Here, I see my hog lands a hook on this Sig. So I'm going to use my shout to engage on this guy. I'm going to use my carnage so I can get close range. But I kind of have no cooldowns now, and they're kind of safe. So now I have to not push up as far, so I'm just backing up. But I'm still trying to have as much uptime as possible. It just doesn't mean I'm always engaging. I'm being patient, waiting for the right opportunities. My knife, I'm going to use as much as possible to try and grab someone in. And my carnage, I'm also going to use it as much as possible, but only when I'm in range. Like if I'm not in range, obviously I can't use it. But if I'm in range, I want to try and use it as much as possible. So here, I'm just sat on this corner. I'm waiting for something. I see the Orisa walks in, so I go for the axe. But obviously, I get javelin spawn. So axe, you can kind of be a bit patient, because if you look, the main two people I'm going to be axing, kind of pre-fight and during the neutral, is going to be the Orisa and Sig. But I kind of have to wait for rock, and I have to wait for javelin spin and javelin before I can rock, or else they're going to stun me out of it, and that's really bad. You see, I'm just sitting in this corner. I'm being patient. I'm not pushing when I don't need to. I'm just shooting, trying to make something happen. And I made something happen by knifing the Orisa. So, another really important thing on tank. The main objective on tank is to use your shorter cooldowns and your damage to force out the enemy's cooldowns and, make them use cooldowns. So that when they don't have cooldowns, you can use your bigger cooldowns, like my shout, like my carnage, to then walk in and capitalize on the fact that they have no cooldowns. But because I was low HP, I couldn't walk in. But now I see Sig, we have an advantage. He's used suck, which means he can't rock me. So I'm gonna walk forward and axe. Oh well, I just killed him because he was low. But you see how I'm just waiting for an opportunity. I'm being patient. I'm just getting healed. I'm not doing anything crazy. I'm just getting healed. I'm waiting. But then I see an opportunity to go in. So even though I'm not full health, I'm going to use my shout and I'm going to walk in because I know this guy's killable. And then I'm going to try and follow up on my shout, but then I run out. So I just hold this corner again. Corner, corner, corner. If you play tank, corners are going to be your favorite word of all time, okay? Because what I can do, because what corners allow you to do is, one, it allows you to take the least amount of damage because you can just move to the side of the cover that the corner gives you. And two, it lets you do the most amount of damage possible because you can sit on this corner, be the main focus, and shoot the enemies because they're in front of you. Because you're going to be the guy in the front line shooting them. So I'm just holding the corner, and then over here I go for an off angle because they didn't see me rotate. And then it just allows me to walk forward. Throw a knife. I tried to kill the Echo with my Carnage, but I got javelins, like I said. If you can, you want to try and force out these cooldowns that can stop your Carnage. But, you know, I had no choice. I had to try and kill the Echo there. So that's fine. Because now I can pull her in and she's dead. Why could I kill her? Because she had no cooldown. She used Javelin Spin earlier. She must have not had Fortify. And now she's got no cooldown. So I just pull her in and kill her. I used my cooldowns to capitalize on the fact that they have no cooldowns. And then we win first point pretty convincingly, I think. Yeah, I just go to the Life Weaver. He does. Knife the Pharaoh, and then there we go. So, I use my knife and my Carnage, you know, pretty liberally. I forgot to turn on the sounds, that's annoying. So I use my knife and Carnage to try and do damage, force out cooldowns, so that I can use my shout to capitalize on the fact that they have no cooldowns, whilst also utilizing corners and patience. Patience doesn't mean play like a pussy. It just means have uptime. Don't walk in until you see an opportunity to. And again, I'm using the corner, and then I can just walk away. Because I use the corner there, I can just walk away again. Corner, boom. Tank gameplay is all just corners. Whether you're holding the corner on, you know, defense, or whether you're using a corner to try and create space on attack. So here, I'm just gonna walk forward. I have all my cooldowns. I have nothing to fear. If something goes bad, I could just use shout and run away. Here, they just didn't know I was here, so I could just get free cooldowns off and stuff. I did miss my knife somehow. That's fine. I just kill Echo because, again, she's isolated. I don't kill Echo because I missed. But again, that's fine. You don't need to have the best mechanics. Like, this was like a top 100 game or something. Top 150, top 200. And I probably should have killed that guy, but I didn't. That's fine. So here, I see an opportunity. I just ult because I get it. Queen ult, there's not much to talk about. The only thing I'd say is if they've got a Kiriko, you definitely want to force out Suzu. And I know they've got Spear and Rock, but like, it's kind of hard to hit Queen when she's ulting with those cooldowns. So I don't fear anything. If you found that the enemies are really good at hitting you with their CC cooldowns, then maybe you want to force them out before. But for me, it didn't really matter. I just used it as soon as I got it. And then we win the fight because I ult. Nothing crazy. But I ult, we win. Pretty self-explanatory. So again, I'm just kind of sitting on this corner here. I back up and then move forward because I'm kind of on my own. And I don't want to play on my own. There's a difference between, like, super relying on your team and then playing way on your own like an idiot. You want to play for yourself, but obviously you still want to be close enough to your teammates so that you can get support. Like, I've got my soldier here, my Lucio's with me. I'm not just on my own. But over here, I was on my own because I was looking at two of them on my own. And I'm just gonna try and hold this. I'm gonna use my cooldowns, try and force out their cooldowns. I tried to pull the Orisa off the bridge, and I actually fell off myself. I didn't mean to fall off, but it's fine because as long as I move up and I hold some sort of space, some sort of corner, we can kill people. So I kill Orisa there because she's killable. Nothing complicated. She didn't even use Fortify or anything. Echo copies Hog, so I want to try and use corner. But again, even the car, I'm always trying to use something where I can shoot. They look at me, like I go behind my corner. I'm always trying to find something because you don't want to be in open space. Like especially not as tank because it's so easy to kill you. You'd think because you have more health, like you're kind of harder to kill, and yes, that is true. Like sort of on paper, it's actually not because you just get evaporated, bro. But yeah, pretty clean fight. There's not much to say. We just killed them one by one because the Orisa died first, and then we killed the Echo, and then we just killed them one by one. Pretty simple. So here, this Cass is isolated, but I can't really go for the kill because I don't have my shout. It would take me too long to walk over here to kill him. Even though he is isolated, it would put me in a bad spot because I don't have my shout to get out or go in. So I stay up here and I wait for my team because my team's also coming back from spawn as well. The Orisa pushes me, I walk back because they're kind of pushing me. But I take the 1v1 because now I see I've got help and I know I can live. I don't know what happened here. Like sometimes I'm just don't want to shoot. That's fine. I used shout because I got low and I saw the Echo there. Missed the Carnage, but that's fine. You can use Knife and Carnage pretty liberally to try and force that value. But it's shout. It's like shout is the cooldown you really don't want to use, like in a waste, because like that's how you kill people most of the time. Again, I'm just holding the castle, but then I see we're starting to push cart across the bridge. So I moved to cart because I want to help my team take space. And again, I'm glued to the cart. If I don't have my shout, I'm especially glued to some piece of cover. Now I've got shout, I can kind of move forward, but I don't need to. Sometimes if you're like pushing an objective or you're just holding a corner and you don't need to move forward, sometimes you really can just sit behind a wall and just wait for them to come to you so that you can take the least amount of damage. Because now they've they've used Ram Shield, Window, Orisa's probably used a cooldown, and I've just been sat behind car doing nothing. But that's actually okay because now I've got full health, all my cooldowns. I can just walk on these guys for free. I Carnage, he forces out form, but because he's used form first, I can use my shout, and then we just clean up the fight. Boom. And then we just walk forward, capitalize on the people who are running back. This is another fundamental. When they go back, we go forward. I try and kill the Echo, but this guy's just the best player in the game, so I can't. Again, I have ult, and this time they do have a carry, so I want to try and force out the Suzu. I don't know why I axed that. No, I do know why I axed that. So I had speed from this ring. And I thought they were closer to the corner. They weren't. My bad. My bad. I'm going to turn up the sound a little bit because I want to be able to hear the Suzu. Yeah, I'm just kind of like I'm not doing anything crazy. I'm still trying to have uptime. I'm still shooting because you always want to be shooting no matter what character you're playing, unless you're playing like Mercy, and then it's a bit different. But I'll make a video about Mercy at some point. So here, I want to ult, but I have to wait for the Suzu. Because if I ult, and they all get Suzu'd, and I'm in the backline, yeah, I'm kind of distracting, but I don't want to be in the backline against 4, So I'm playing like normal, using corners, trying to force out cooldowns. I get walled, so I have to shout. And then I ult, for some reason. I don't know why, let me go back. So I get walled, I shout, right? So I ult because I see the carry's low HP, and I'm like, if I can kill the carry, what are they gonna do? So I just ult, I kill carry, and now they have no Suzu. In that scenario, I can ult without knowing if Suzu's been forced out because I know I can kill Kiriko right now. And then obviously I get like the triple anti, and then we win the fight. And then we just kill the stragglers. I don't know why I don't push May here. Like the guy's just on his own. Again, I'm walking up, and I'm still using corners. I'm using this as a corner. So if I need to, I can back up safely, but I can also push forward if I need to. see. I haven't talked about perks too much on Queen. The minor perks, the knife perk is nice. I used to use it a lot, but I found out that if you knife someone and you let the timer run out and they get pulled back, that doesn't actually refresh the wound. So like what you have to do is you have to knife them and then manually call back the knife. But that's just like mental load that I can't be asked to deal with. So I just use the shout perk. And honestly I think the shout perk is kind of just better. The minor perks, it's basically just personal preference. Or the major perks, sorry. It's personal preference. Because both of them are really good. I used to use the scatter shot one because I liked how you could, you know, extend the wounds. Because you can extend how long the ult lasts for, the anti-effect, with the scatter shot perk. But I've come to really like this one because the fucking lifesteal you get from it is so insane. But like I said, you can use any perk and you'll do fine. So here, I'm just holding spawn door. I go for the Juno because she's more killable than a fortified Orisa. And then there we go. So there, I used patience, cover, and good cooldown usage on Queen to help us cap that in 2 minutes 50. And I didn't die a single time, by the way. Why? Because I used corners. I used cover. I used my cooldowns correctly. That's it. Tank is all about doing the most possible without dying. And obviously, you know, you can say the same thing about every character, but especially tank. You want to have the highest of highs without having the lowest of lows. You know, you want to get that value. You want to get that value, but then when you're low, just back up. You don't want to dip below that, you know, death line where you die and it's bad. But anyway, we're on the second round here. So we're defending. And defending is easier to explain corners because you can visibly see like how my presence on a corner affects the enemy team because they have to walk into me now. I don't have to walk into them using like movement and like good positioning and my cooldowns. They literally have to walk into me. You'll see I probably used my shout like maybe like 4 times this round in 2 minutes. Because if we just hold the corner, I don't need to use my shout much. Because I use my shout to get in or to get out. Mostly to get in though. But blah blah blah. We're down 1 and they have mace speed. So I know what they're trying to do. They're trying to just rush us. So here, I get a big axe, bro. This was so satisfying to play. I'm sorry. So let me explain this, you know, in an educational way. So I see them walking over here. I wanted to hold this side because my hog was on the right side. But when I saw them running over here, I immediately wanted to come over and help. I used shout because I wanted to try and help my hog live. I don't know if it did anything. But then I saw all of them were just looking at hog, like literally all of them. So I come in from the off angle, use my shout to engage, get a big carnage. I hit 3 of them. And then I just carnage again. I walk on them. I know Mei has no ice block because I just saw her use it. I know the Kiriko has no Suzu, which is why I'm walking on these guys because they're very killable. And then there we go, we win. Here's my carnage. I miss. I don't know how I'm missing these carnages. I suck. But okay, how did we win that fight? Well, it was pretty simple. Off angle. Think about it. Were any of them paying attention to me? Was a single person on their team paying attention to me? No. Let me show you in slow motion, like what it looks like here. Not a single one of them are paying attention to me. So I just get a big axe. I come behind them, and they still don't even realize. I backed up because I thought they were all gonna look at me. And my shot was gonna run out, so I would have been vulnerable, but they weren't. And I know cooldowns have been used. So guess what? I use my cooldowns to capitalize on the fact that they have no cooldowns, and I walk forward, and I kill them. Boom. They have no cooldowns. Like, what can they do? They can't do anything to a queen. And then they just die. But next fight. Again, uptime. Always shooting. Never just doing nothing. But the only time where you don't want to shoot is when, you know, you have to extend yourself into their spawn and it becomes too dangerous for you. You want to do uptime from a safe spot. You can shoot from here. Don't really want to shoot from here. Especially don't want to shoot from here because that's their spawn door. Then, you know, from a safe position, always be shooting. There we go. Land a knife. I pull the sig in. Force out a cooldown. That's what knife's for, by the way. Either forcing out a cooldown or forcing out a kill. Because it puts them in a really bad spot. So now their Sigma has no suck. And I have someone else. They use Nemform, Rock, Suzu's. Like, now I know I can start walking in on people. Because I can hear these audio cues. Because Overwatch has really good sound. So I hear these audio cues. You know, no Nemform, no Rock, no Suzu. So I know I'm relatively free to just walk in and start fighting people. So I axe, walking on him. He's low. He dies to my bleed. And then here, you would think, oh yeah, I mean, like, hi, you were doing pretty good. Why didn't you push? That's a good question. I think I was pushing out, but I also saw that my shout was gonna run out, and I knew that these two were kind of behind me, so I didn't walk in. Because, like I said earlier, it's kind of, or maybe I didn't, but it's easy to feed on tank because you're a bigger target, especially without cooldowns, especially without cover. You're a very easy person to kill, so I didn't want to risk dying. So we just clean up the fight, because I walk in after they use cooldowns, capitalize, and then they die. And now they've got one more fight. We just hold this corner. I have my ult soon. And they have Kiriko, so I'm just trying to force out Suzu at some point. They rush, so I just back up. No point trying to fight in their rush when I can just play a little safer. Again, you see this movement here. So their rush is kind of coming like down my way. Like the rush is coming down to my lane. So what do? Well, I just change lane. See ya, I'm gone. I just changed lane. And now I've got a new corner to play on. I've got this corner. I can make them walk into me whilst I'm in probably the safest position I can be in. And boom, I do that. Boom, I see Suzu. That is my cue. I don't even use my brain. I see Suzu, I go. Like, don't even use any thought. Suzu, boom, in. Because now none of them can get Suzu'd. And then there we go. We win the fight. Trying to go for the Kiri because I heard her. I hear the Reaper. I know the Kiri's in here. Kill Kiri. Boom. That's it. Again, just very simple stuff. I'm using corners. I'm being patient with my cooldowns and my aggression. Pushing in when people have no cooldowns. When they're low. When they're isolated and killable. And I'm just playing very well. Like, yeah, this is a self-glazed VOD review. I'll say it. But I played really well, and I wanted to show how I played well. Because, like, it's not just me. Because, yes, like, I am a good player, but it's about the fundamentals that I'm using to play good. Which is how I won. So, they're running a pretty cancer comp, but that's okay. Doesn't matter. Shooting. I see they have Bastion, so I just wait. Now, I peek a little bit. Because I'm ballsy like that. I'm ballsy. But here, this is an example of when I'm kind of using shout, not to engage or disengage on anyone, but because this choke is kind of hard to get through. Once that turret form's nearly over, I use my shout to just get through this choke. Shit. Because usually I would go on this right side, but I can't because everyone's here. So I just walk from here, shout over, because now I've opened up the choke. And this is just going to force them to play, like, either way more forward to kill me, or they have to back up. Also, my Lucio, by the way, is an absolute hero. He's just in the backline fucking shitting on people. And I love that, because that creates distractions for me, makes it easier for me to play. But back on me. I use shout to get over here. And then I'm just holding my ground. I'm not doing too much, because I'm kind of low. But I'm holding my ground. But then when I see that down Sigma, I start moving forward. I shoot turret. Obviously, I can't destroy it because it's OP and broken, but I start moving forward. Start using my knife, trying to get value. I'm not pushing in too aggro because I hear the turret form. You see? I see turret form, I'm gone. See ya. And I'm not playing too crazy. I see Bastion gets low and he's isolated. Boom, kill him. Again, I save my shout for an opportunity. I don't just use it because I've got it. I know I talk about using cooldowns a lot, but there's some cooldowns in this game that you shouldn't use as soon as you have them. You need to use them when you can get kills, when you need to disengage. Here, I can get a kill, so I push him, he dies. Then I go back to the cover, and I have no shout, so I play safe, but I walk forward because I know they've backed up enough for me to be able to move forward and take this next corner. So like, do you see that dynamic? I kill Bastion, my shout's over, I back up to this corner because I'm not sure what's happening. I think I'm in danger, but I see that they're really far back, so I move forward to the next corner. That way I'm closer to the enemies and I can do even more damage. Start forcing out cooldowns again. I get the turret, because the turret's fucking annoying. That perk is so good, by the way. I change angles because the angle on the right wasn't great for me. I'm waiting to get healed because I'm 250 health. I start axing because I know the Orisa has no fortify, and she has no spin because she's taking the shield perk. When you take the shield perk, you trade the spin for the shield. So I know she can't stop me with spin. So I'm just waiting to get healed. Trying to make something work though. Just because I'm waiting doesn't mean I'm literally sitting back and doing nothing. It just means I'm trying to just be a little bit more patient, trying to wait for an opportunity to open up to kill someone. I see there's like a bunch of people up top here, so I definitely don't want to walk forward. And I'm really trying to make something happen. I get sped so I can walk around. I just knife the Orisa because I've got speed. We love that Juno ring, and then I just walk on them. You see how I played so patient there for about like 30-40 seconds maybe, until I had an advantage. And the advantage here was me having speed ring and the Orisa having used cooldowns. I use my speed ring, I literally just run forward. Because I know I'm not killable, right? I just walk in, boom, he's dead. And then I shout because we want to keep up the momentum in the fight. I look for killable targets, and then we go. I axe D.Va, but then I go for the Juno because Juno's more killable than the D.Va. Why? Because Juno can heal D.Va. D.Va can't heal Juno. And then that is the end of the game. So, I know that was kind of an ego VOD. I know. But I wanted to showcase how to play tank, and specifically JQ, fundamentally well. So let me go over it again. So we have corners, patience, good cooldown usage. Those are like the three cornerstones of tank, on top of the other fundamentals that I talked about in my last video. Corners, because you're going to get shot a lot, you're a big target, you're very easy to shoot. So you have to use corners to kind of minimize the amount of damage you take. But corners also let you do a lot of damage because you can use them to peek out and shoot enemies on your own timing. Patience is important because every tank has cooldowns that you want to use to either disengage or use to engage when you see an advantage. What are these advantages? The enemy team has no cooldowns to fight against you. Someone's isolated. Someone's low HP. You know, people who are killable with your cooldowns. And then number 3, just general good cooldown usage. It's a bit specific on like the hero you play, but generally on tank, you want to use your damage and your shorter cooldowns to force out enemy cooldowns, as well as moving around the map, you know, creating angles and stuff, so that when they use cooldowns, you can now use your big cooldowns like shout, like cardiac overdrive, like your Zarya bubbles, like your nemesis form, like your wall on hazard, right? You want to use these big cooldowns to capitalize on the fact that they now have no cooldowns. Anyways, I hope this video helped. Let me know if you want more tank guides, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. Also, if you want further coaching, don't forget to check the link in the description. I think it'll be quite interesting for you. Alright, bye.